Pokemon Winds and Waves is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious Pokemon games yet, and it is entirely possible that we could see a record number of new Pokemon introduced in this generation. So today on the podcast, what we're going to be doing is breaking down all the different types of Pokemon we could see in this brand new region. We're going to start by reviewing all of the Pokemon that have been confirmed through official trailers, and then from there, discussing brand new ideas for regional forms, cross-gen evolutions, convergent Pokemon, the starter evolutions, bug Pokemon, fossil Pokemon. We talk about all of the tropes in this podcast. And as always, this is just the beginning of the conversation. If you have ideas, let us know in the comments. Hit subscribe. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. My name is Dusty Go-Goat, and today I'm joined by Soul Silver Art.
What's up?
And Hoops and Hip Hop.
Hello.
How you guys doing today?
Chilling.
Doing good. Another week closer to Winds and Waves.
Yeah. Do you have like a tally? Do you have like a tally on your desk? It's
I
like
have
you're
it
in
in
prison and you're just
Yeah.
carving out strikes.
Yes, chiseling it on the wall with a spoon.
Yeah.
I try not to, or I will just doom.
Yeah. So, okay. Like I said, there will likely, I think there's a pretty good shot that this is going to be, the Generation 10 Pokedex is going to be pretty big. And not just the national Pokedex, but the amount of new Pokemon that are added into Generation 10 could be pretty large. I'd like today to start by discussing all of the Pokemon that have been confirmed to be in the game because of, I guess we have one official trailer for Generation 10, and then we also got a promotional video.
It's news. It technically,
yeah, I guess it is technically news. Yeah,
yeah.
There was a symphony orchestra video that was put out, playing the theme song, for Winds and Waves, and honestly, I'm feeling pretty good about this. There's a bunch of plushies, like plushie Pokemon that they put in the video, and there's no way that these are a bunch of random Pokemon like Oranguru.
They're not random.
Bellsprout. I would imagine that they're only here because these Pokemon are going to be in the game, which is
yes.
So they're going to be part of the conversation. But I would say we probably have like only 60 Pokemon confirmed for like the national decks, and I think I'm excited. Okay, let's start by focusing on which of these Pokemon could get regional evolutions, maybe just like general cross-gen evolutions. I think all of the Pokemon that are here, I don't think any of them would be eligible for a regional form, because if we did see it in the trailer,
right,
that would, I mean, like if if Tangela is in this new region, there's no regional form. This is
right.
The
It would
Pokemon
be
that
the Gen 10 Tangela instead of this Tangela.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think we could get some cross-gen evolutions, which is exciting. So, I don't know, where are your minds at?
It's slightly disappointing for some of these, because I wanted maybe, Ledian to get a regional form,
Okay.
or, even Macargo or something like that. But I think, yeah, some of them could get, those two could even get evolutions. They were featured in the actual trailer, like those two specifically.
Yeah, any of these can get either an evolution, or they could get like whatever gimmick form ends up being in this game.
Yeah, that's true as well.
So there's multiple options for sure. One that I haven't even thought about and is kind of a long shot, but just occurred to me just looking at this list, is it would be really interesting and cool if Swellow and Pelipper got
I knew you were going to
something.
say Swellow.
And the reason I say
good. That's really good.
I say that because they've always stuck out to me as a bit unusual, because they're like one of the only regional birds that doesn't evolve twice. I think the only other one is Noctowl and Kilowattrel. So I guess there's a couple.
Kilowattrel's new, though. It's new.
There's room, obviously, with them only evolving once. And obviously Swellow, flying type. Pelipper's a water type. It's very thematic. So
neither of them have forms either, like gimmick forms at all. So that they have no attention given to them.
Yes. So that could.
I like this a lot. They were also introduced in the Hoenn region, which I think a lot of people are kind of comparing that as a tropical region. I think people have been comparing this new game to Hoenn, and they also represent, I guess you could kind of look at them to represent wind and wave. Pelipper, at least, is literally flying and water type, but Swellow is winds, and then you got the water type, right? Yeah, the Pelipper would be waves.
Give me a Pelipper evolution that I can like hop up into its bill and it can like fly me around places.
I think you can do that with Pelipper already. Has there not been artwork of that? In my mind, I'm just
There's an anime episode. There is an anime episode where Pikachu and like a bunch of different Pokemon hide in Pelippers. Like someone basically, there's like a random trainer who has a Pelipper and is cheating because their Pelipper is undefeated because they're cheating and they have like Pokemon in its mouth. So Pelipper would be like flying around and using like flamethrower, but it's like a Magby or whatever in its mouth.
Nice. That's funny.
But that's kind of fun. And then I think about, Pelipper is like what? Like it's a pelican. That I could totally see an evolution where it like, it can like ferry things. Dude, honestly, you know what? Pelipper kind of looks like a boat. I never thought about it, but Pelipper literally.
Imagine a boat evolution for Pelipper.
That's actually so good. You know how like King Gambit kind of like subverts our expectations?
Yeah.
Like I could see Pelipper as well. Like Wingull is made to fly. Pelipper can fly, but it's bigger. I mean, I'm not crazy. It literally looks like a boat, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it could be like they could elongate the back of it and give it more wings. It could be like a boat that actually flies even. That beta Pokemon,
like that beta dragon Pokemon that everyone loves
so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that would be cool.
I would not want that for Pelipper, but like, I'm not a big fan of Pelipper. The only problem I have with Pelipper getting an evolution is the whole like it's pretty competitive. Like it's already used in competitive a lot, and I wonder if they would give it anything because of that. Then again, I champions honestly thing, and they're like, we're trying to break from like competitive restraints. So
to be honest, Sol, like, and this isn't against you, but like I hate that argument.
I know, but like, it's real though.
It's not. Real. It's not real at all. Mega evolutions wouldn't exist. Awesome terrestrialization combos wouldn't exist. Like the whole point is
already used so much. Like making him even stronger would be crazy. It's not that it's impossible. It's just that it would be crazy. It'd be like giving. I mean, this is extreme, but like giving Incineroar like a mega, and a lot of people are like that can never happen because this obviously can happen. But
bro, if legendaries are allowed, Pelipper at what 400
legendaries aren't allowed. That's the thing. Like I don't know.
I think it's like
Pelipper needs to be cracked. They got to juice him.
I think it's like half possible, to be honest, because I think they do kind of look at that sort of thing when they pick what they want to give stuff to, but they don't like care all the time because obviously we have like pseudo legendaries that have megas and things like that. So
yeah, it's true.
It's possible. I was gonna say something and then I forgot.
Well, you just look at the whole list, and I think. Oh, there's so many on this list. Like even watching the trailer, I'm like, all these Pokemon could get evolutions. I'm like, Tropius, Ledian, Macargo, Lumineon. Like all of these, you're like, those should get evolutions before Pelipper should get an evolution. But then Game Freak just does some crazy stuff, So who really knows?
And can I be honest with you guys? We got to wait until 2027 to get our hands on Winds and Waves. But in the meantime, I've been collecting a lot of Pokemon cards. This episode is brought to you by our friends, Awesome CCG. It's my local card shop, and they want to give Hidden Power listeners 5% off all regularly marked products. And we're always doing timelines for the upcoming Pokemon games, but I got to be honest, the TCG roadmap right now is just as exciting. The Zygarde themed set, Perfect Order, is out right now. I actually pulled this Mega Skarmory EX and 3 Chien-Pao cards. But the next big English set is Chaos Rising. This set dropped on May 22nd. It's available right now and has a ton of awesome chase cards like Mega Greninja and Mega Floette. Both of these are brand new Pokemon, and it's so cool to get new art of these Pokemon in a physical format that you can actually hold in your hands and feel like an actual Pokemon master. And the next English set is Pitch Black, which releases July 17th. And this is going to have to do with Mega Darkrai. But if you don't want to wait until July, guess what? The Japanese set, Abyss Eye, also released on May 22nd, and you can get all those same cards that are going to be featured in Pitch Black 2 months early. This is an illustration rare Metang card. Never thought I'd be saying Metang is one of the coolest, but this is a Japanese card and it's just as beautiful as any English set. And later in the year, there's actually been rumors of a new trademark, Storm Emeralda, and this is probably going to feature Mega Dimension Pokemon, including Mega Rayquaza, Mega Groudon, Mega Kyogre. These cards are going to be so sick. And of course, we're also going to be getting the 30th anniversary celebration set. Every single one of these sets are going to be available at Awesome CCG in store or online, and they want to hook you up. Hidden Power listeners get 5% off all regularly marked products when you use the code Hidden Power at checkout. We have links in the description. Go support them. These people are real Pokemon fans and they support the podcast. Pokemon cards are for everyone, and Awesome CCG makes it so easy to pick up some products and start opening cards. A huge thanks to Awesome CCG for sponsoring today's episode.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I literally just noticed it just barely, so
I like
it's a
the
long
idea,
shot
too.
to begin with.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me go through, unless you were just about to say something. I think it would probably be good to just go through the list for listeners and kind of explain, and I guess we can just go through each one of these confirmed Pokemon to be in the game. But yeah, did you have something to say?
I was just gonna go to another Pokemon that I think is gonna.
What are you
get an
thinking about?
evolution.
Yeah.
I was gonna say going to like unlikely to like very likely. I would be shocked if this didn't get something. Is Lumineon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
I don't know if it'll be a form or like a evolution. I hope it's an evolution, but like, yeah, it's got to get something.
Yep.
For sure.
I totally agree. I think Lumineon is it's kind of one of those Pokemon that has, I guess it's not an OG Pokemon, but I guess the more and more time that goes on, it is an OG Pokemon. It's from what, 2009. It's from Generation 4, and I think it kind of like got lost. It's just like been overshadowed. It's a fish. It's a normal water. It's just a plain water type fish Pokemon. Like there's nothing really that interesting about it. In its concept and design, there is interesting things about it, but I don't think they really manifest in its competitive prowess and its strength and its type.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Lumineon really could benefit from that, especially if like diving is coming back in Winds and Waves. Like that's, I think, something that I do want to think about when it comes to like this podcast. Like when we're discussing these Pokemon, sure, any Pokemon could get an evolution, but how is the Pokemon actually going to be? I guess like new evolutions in Pokemon don't need to necessarily be like always specific to the region. Like I always bring up the example of like Komala, the koala Pokemon, being native to the Hawaii-based region. Like that makes no sense, right? But yeah, I do want to be thinking about like what is this game doing? What kind of habitats are we going to be seeing? And then what kind of Pokemon would fill those habitats?
I totally agree with that, especially for the diving. So like, what do we know about this game? We know that we're going to be diving. So it's just like, they're probably going to give us a good amount of Pokemon that are just like underwater, whether they be like actual all fish Pokemon or they're just like underwater Pokemon, like marine Pokemon is probably a good way of putting it. So I think there'll be a bigger amount than usual is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And to that point, there's literally a location in the beta of Winds and Waves, which could change, but it's there, that's called the Neon Abyss. And that just sounds like a place that was literally made for a Lumineon evolution.
Yeah,
dude.
Could be like, it almost sounds like it'll be like a place for Lumineon evolution, and that Lumineon evolution will be like a boss, like Titan Pokemon or something like that.
Definitely possible.
We've talked about this before, but I keep, and I know I feel like we've debunked it, but it keeps coming to my mind. With the new generation, there's always the idea of like, could we see a new Pokemon type? I feel like sound has been debunked. But then we've also been talking about like the light type. However, maybe that doesn't need to be a type, and it's really just like a visual tool, or like, something that can be, I guess, like shown off in this game because of like, the engine or whatever. Like they can like showcase that a Pokemon is emitting physical light and changing the environment. But it also kind of makes me think, could we get a new type? Anyways, let's go through this list. Because we're already having way too much fun on Pelipper. All right. So obviously we have the 3 starter Pokemon, right?
Yes.
Obviously those are going to be in the game. Those are obviously going to evolve 2 times. So that's like 9 Pokemon right there. I think it would be fun to do like another whole podcast talking about what these things could evolve into. But like, what are you guys thinking when it comes to like what Pombon, Brout, and Gekwa are going to evolve into?
I mean,
so I am basically convinced at this point that Pombon's going to become a fairy type and Gecko's going to become a psychic type.
yeah.
It's like
Okay.
official prediction. Put it in stone.
Write it down.
Draw it
Yeah.
on the jail cell wall. But Brout is like, to me now, and this is interesting because I'm gonna pick Brout, but Brout is like the wild card, and like I think it could go a number of different directions. I did like a prediction where I thought maybe it could become a fighting type. There's been a lot of talk about it maybe becoming an electric type. There's also like it could also honestly just become a flying type because it's not flying right now. Like I don't think any one of those options is more likely than the other, and so I'm kind of just like I don't know at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Very on brand. All those that was like
Hoops.
totally me right there.
Those hoops and
Yeah, I was trying to be sneaky about it. I did a Google search of hoops and hip hop, but spelled it wrong, and then it was a bunch of like it was like a jewelry account or something. But I'm trying to pull up your starter evolutions that you played around with. You had Brout evolve into furrow root, like a furrowed brow, and then it gets this like it kind of like I really like the green color that you add to this. And he gets kind of like angry, and then he eventually evolves into Taliscowl with the grass fighting type.
So
this is cool.
Yeah, this is based on
like an ostrich,
on a cassowary specifically.
Sure.
Which I do think is possible, and I really like this design a lot. So like I would totally love if it did something like this, but I don't think it's like I don't think it's more likely than anything else. So it's just hard to guess.
I agree. I do think that we could probably do like a whole episode on them because there's like a lot of depth to them. I agree with the psychic type for Gekwa. I think it's just too blatantly obvious. I really think that that's what is going to happen. But I don't know about Pombon being fairy. I don't know. It could be.
I think
fairy is like sounds fun, but I think it sounds fun because it's like a dog and like dogs are playful, and I do like that a lot. And we could also see a fairy type that is not I don't know, like your classic like forest fairy, right? It's just like I always appreciate when a type is interpreted or showcased in like a different or unique design or whatever, right?
I'm just looking at that little tuft of hair it's got on the top of its head, and the speculation is that that's either like a paintbrush with paint on it, or it's like a little dollop of like cream because it's like supposed to be a bonbon because that's kind of where its name comes from.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so it's either like pastry or it's like art, and both of those are very like fairy coated. So
yeah,
that's kind of my logic there.
It's definitely like
more food dogs. That's what.
And it's like, to your point, like not only is it a dog and dogs are playful, but this is a Pomeranian. This is like the definition of like a teacup type of dog, like a toy type of dog. It's just like you stick it in your purse, and so it just kind of makes sense. And I feel like, again, like unlike Brout, I don't really see anything else that like convinces me the way Fairy does. When I was doing my predictions, which was like right after everything got revealed, I did go with a dark type evolution for Pombon, but that was only because of like to like balance between the other two, which is also another factor to consider, but they also don't ever really like balance them perfectly. So it's hard to like say again, but yeah, Fairy is kind of what I'm feeling.
You know, to be honest, I'm looking at Pombon and I'm trying to like think about it just like in a different, or like in maybe a more straightforward interpretation of what it could evolve into. And like, if it is going to be maybe like if I'm going to look at this and predict this and kind of like follow kind of a more shallow or like more straightforward line of thought, it has essentially a little tuft of hair that is red on a fire type starter that is probably going to grow into like actual fire. And Pombon also has, it's a dog, but it has this like circular ruffed. It has almost like a lion's mane.
Mhm.
And obviously everyone's thinking about this Pokemon evolving into the dog, the Tibetan Mastiff, this like big chunky boy. But I could see it evolving into something that is really just like maybe more like has the mane of a lion, and it would just be a fiery mane, and that like Emboar.
That would be so cool.
And I feel like I haven't really seen that much. I feel like a lot of the designs I've seen are mostly just like it's a dog, but like that seems really straightforward. Like that just seems, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not too complicated in the lore. It's just like fire on its head. Now it's fire around the whole head.
Yeah.
And that would be kind of sick. I honestly, yeah, I'm excited for this little guy. I'm really excited. But yeah, so we have these starters. They're obviously going to evolve, and that'll be good. Then we got the two. Let's skip Windy Chew and Wavy Chew because they are Pokemon.
They're the legendaries, though. And let's just
exactly
throw that out there. That's why they're there.
I hope not. I hope not.
I hope
when
not too, but I think that's true.
When you see them next to Pikachu, it's like almost so obvious the differences and like their eyes being whatever. Windy Chew and Wavy Chew, we've done videos on this. I think they're going to be legendaries. We'll talk about it later in the show. Pikachu's in this. Pikachu, Raichu. We're not going to see a regional form.
No, they're not going to get. Well,
yeah.
Don't let me say they're not going to get anything because who knows? But
actually, I do want to make a correction here before we get some comments. So this list that was pulled together, I've seen a lot of these lists online, but this list is basically some of these Pokemon didn't actually appear in the trailer, but they're assumed to be at least catchable in some way in the game. Just here's an example, like Pikachu is here in the trailer. That would suggest that at some point, whether it's trading or whatever, you would be able to get Raichu or a Alolan Raichu. But to be honest, we could see another regional Pikachu evolution. I don't think we're going to get that because we got Windy Chew and Wavy Chew.
Yeah, I think Windy Chew and
those
Wavy
are Pikachu
Chew
forms. But
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is like Gloom is the next Pokemon. Oddish, Gloom, and Vileplume are going to be in the game at some, if Gloom's in the game, Gloom is what was seen in the trailer. We can assume Oddish is going to be there, but Gloom could evolve into a regional Vileplume or a new Pokemon as possible. A branched evolution.
Mm-hmm. Very possible, right? Because that flower is I think endemic or native to Indonesia or that area. So it's huge. Though it just means that like Vileplume should be there. You know what I mean? Because it's already the flower. So I don't know.
Yeah. But
it could be a regional, and like there are some regionals, I guess is what I want to say. Like some regionals are pretty slight changes,
Well, to that point, I would say that even if Gloom or even if Vileplume gets a regional form, the Cantonian form is still going to be obtainable in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So like it being there is still like safe. It's a safe bet.
Right.
However, what I was going to say is not only is it likely just from the perspective of like the flower that it's based on comes from this part of the world, but the fact that they used Gloom in the reveal trailer instead of Vileplume is like practically a tease in my opinion.
Yep.
Totally. Because like, why would you use a middle evolution? Like use Oddish or use Vileplume?
Mm-hmm. No, that's a good point. The next Pokemon on the list is we saw Krabby in the trailer. And so again, Kingler is going to be in the game, but I think it would be kind of cool to see like a new,
so cool.
Yeah, like a new Krabby evolution, because I think Kingler is also pretty cool. It does have a that's kind of tricky. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. Like Kingler has a Gigantamax form, but I don't actually think. Yeah, we've seen Pokemon be able to Gigantamax, but still evolve, like Duraludon, like Pikachu, Eevee, Meowth. So Kingler actually could get a new, I guess it wouldn't be a regional evolution. Like a regional evolution would be like Obstagoon, right? Like a Pokemon that doesn't exist.
It depends.
Or a new Pokemon evolving from a regional form, right?
Yeah.
Well, what would you consider King Gambit? That's not a Paldean evolution for.
No,
it's a cross gen evolution.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Okay,
but they could do a regional evolution if they wanted to. Yeah. Like they could just be like Kingler evolved differently in this region, and it's they would specify that it was because of the region that it evolved, instead of just like King Gambit evolves because of or Bisharp evolves because of whatever reason, not
But
the region.
but I guess a regional evolution. You are right. Like they could.
They haven't done that yet.
Yeah, like historically, what it's been is that like. So I guess what I'm saying is like, Krabby's in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
If King, so either Krabby evolves into Kingler and then gets a new evolution, and that would be a cross gen, or Krabby could get a regional evolution to a new type of Kingler, which then would need to evolve, or would evolve into a new Pokemon.
Right.
That would, I guess, be specific to. I'm just trying to understand this to this new region.
Mm-hmm.
What do we even think the new region is going to be like? Not called, but like
I mean, know.
Maybe kind of right. Like it could be anything.
It
like
can
Galar has nothing to do with the UK. I don't think.
It can be anything.
So it kind of it's really hard to predict, but like they usually tie into the theme of the region and the game. So like for instance, Paldea is speculated to possibly be from Pal because like the story of the game involves like Nimona and Arvin and Penny, like your close friends, so it's kind of like a thematic thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas Galar apparently comes from I think it's an Irish word that means disease, and so that kind of alludes to Eternatus. Yes, I did a video about it. So that's why I know that.
It's great.
So yeah,
great lore that we didn't know.
there's little things like that they will definitely allude to, but it's like impossible to obviously predict at this point.
That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah,
if cool. I remember, the Dea part had something to do with something too. It was so long ago that information came out that I don't.
And then like another good example is Kalos. Kalos is like Greek for beauty. Which
cool. Okay, that's cool. All right, so we got, dude, a new Kingler form would be sick. That would be so sick. Yeah. Let's look up actually. Yeah, let's look up.
It's funny.
Crabs.
We're talking about Krabby and Kingler, and it kind of connects to our Secret Power episode we just did. But I'm like, yeah, Krabby is awesome when it's literally just a crab named Krabby.
It's true, named Krabby. It's good. Bro. It's a good.
There's so many types of crabs too. You know.
There's the Christmas Island in the region apparently, and they have a whole bunch of
ghost crab.
Where was that?
Right there. Middle
I would love a
row
ghost
to
crab.
the right.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Dude. Yeah. So it's like a little bit invisible. That's kind of cool.
It's the one above that, I think. Well, no, maybe I'm wrong.
No, yeah. It's the ghost crab is like it's yellow and it looks a little bit like invisible. It's got some white on it. Mm-hmm. I gotta be honest. If we get a new
ghost
Krabby ghost crab that's like a little bit invisible and yellow, that sounds like the light type.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He's gone from sound
secret
to
agenda.
Light.
Yeah. Dusty's secret agenda,
bro. That's so sick.
But no, the Christmas Island one is crazy. Like, look at all those crabs. Like,
dude, I could see this too because it's just I love how red it is. It's just like a classic red crab. Krabby's got that like orange color.
You should go back to that other picture one more time.
Which one?
The one we were just looking at with the ghost crab.
Sure.
So the strawberry crab would also be awesome because they very often do fruit Pokemon like Applin.
Yeah.
And so like you could cross an actual strawberry with a crab, and so it's like a fruit Pokemon, but it's like a crab, so it's like it's an animal at the same time. I could totally see that.
That would be a good way to do it because they have so many just like crab Pokemon. I guess not so many, but a good bunch of crab Pokemon that are just crabs. So this would change it up.
Yeah.
I think we could totally get. I mean, we're looking at crabs. We're talking about the Pokemon that have been confirmed, but I'm like, all of these could also just be their own standalone new Pokemon.
Absolutely.
Which is actually what like we're mostly going to be seeing, right? Like we're starting with this list just because it's this is what is like confirmed. But yeah, like if we're gonna get a new 150 Pokemon, and I think I've said this in the past, like because this game will be will be the first new mainline Pokemon game 5 years after the like Generation 9 started. It kind of makes me, I guess, open to the idea or believe that we could even see for the first time like 200 new Pokemon. Yeah. You know, I'm not even saying like we need that. I'm just saying like if it has like normally there's a 3-year gap, this time there's a 5-year gap. That's nearly double. So like if I'm trying to be crazy, I would say 300 new Pokemon to
Yeah.
double 150 Pokemon, but like 200 would be insane still.
They've been cooking this whole time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they've been just for 5 years. They're like, let's start working on Pokemon for Generation 10.
And
So
we
I do
also
think,
know like they're always work, like there's been, I feel like, interviews and yeah, I think Dr. Lava translated some like Japanese interviews from Game Freak where they basically said like they always have Pokemon in the back end.
oh yeah,
And they just kind of have them on rotation, and like they'll revive or dismiss designs depending on whether or not it'll suit the game that they're trying to create. So it's like at any given time, Game Freak has like 400 designs just circulating. And I think honestly, I thought it was so cool in Generation 9 when right after Applin gets introduced in Gen 8, right? We then in the very next generation we get a split evolution and an evolution for that, like, and then they introduced Duraludon, and then immediately give it like a new evolution. It's so like we had never seen that before. Normally evolutions, split evolutions, or cross-gen evolutions only occurred if it had been a 3-4 year 4 generation gap, right? Usually it's like 10 years later that we get love to these like brand new Pokemon. So
I think that's actually a good example of like what Pokemon you could expect to get evolutions, because I think if I had to guess what probably happened there is when they made Applin and Duraludon for Gen 8, they probably did not have Gen 9 and more specifically like the Blueberry Academy in mind, because that was probably a little early for that. But then when they got to Gen 9, they were like, we're doing this Blueberry Academy that's in Unova, and we just introduced an apple Pokemon, like New York is the big apple, like of course that has to get, because it just fits. And then Duraludon it's a building, but then it's
it's a bridge.
But then it's like, Unova is all about bridges. We can make this work. So basically, like, they just took those Pokemon and used them because they were such a good fit, regardless of when they were introduced. And so I think a lot of these Pokemon, like Lumineon or like even like Krabby or Vileplume, they just fit so perfectly. So it's like, of course, give them an evolution.
To the point. To the point of like there being a lot of Pokemon, just to take like a realistic spin on it, it's 5 years like you said, but also look at Scarlet and Violet. We got over 100 Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, even I think in the base game, but then you add all of the DLC Pokemon and it's like we're past 100.
Oh yeah.
So I don't see why they're not going to pass 100 with this generation. At least, I mean, my number is like around 120 is what I'm imagining. And even then I'm like, is that with DLC or without? I don't know. Like maybe you could even count, like they did like how many megas for ZA. So when you're thinking about how many designs they have like on hand, like what you're talking about, like 400 circulating, they probably have a lot circulating after 5 years of waiting.
Yeah.
And
it was kind of cool, like during the Terror League, to like get a hold of all these like old beta sprites. I'm not going to sit here and say like they're all great. A lot of them are like pretty sloppy, but what's always interesting to see is like the development over time of the Pokemon that we like love and know now, to see versions of what they used to be. What design elements were lost, which ones were added. Like it's always really cool because it feels like almost like an alternate universe. And in when we're talking about like this, the Pokemon world, like, part of this fandom, or I think part of the appreciation of Pokemon is like that there can be multiple different forms of Pokemon, right? Because they're living species. So I look at some of these beta Pokemon that, I'm looking at the Generation 5 ones right now. Again, this is all from the Terra League. And I wonder like, this is super relevant. There's a Swoobat right here and a Woobat, and they look way more purple. And, we talked about in another podcast how there's like, there seems to be a location called Woobat Cave, I think, or Woobat Tunnel. And so like the speculation is, could they get a new regional form and then an evolution? And maybe we got to look at the beta design for like maybe the color palette of what they might, or something, right? It could be just something completely new. But
Bring
It's just,
back,
I don't know. It's always kind of interesting.
Bring back Fat Simisear. That's all.
Oh, 100%. And super
one
tall,
everyone
posh Simipour. Dude, yeah, they all could have had like really unique. Yeah, dude, they would not have felt like clones if they actually had these like beta, evolutions. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is like all of these designs from the Terra League, yes, they are public now, but I'm like, they also, Game Freak has tons of these that we haven't even ever seen. So like, they've got so much stuff in the tank, and I don't even know what the original point
just
was.
Over 100 Pokemon.
Yeah, dude, it's like, I feel like when I say that, it's like people push back and they're like, well, it's never been done before. And also that's a lot of resources, but
never
I'm
been
like,
done before.
I know, but I'm like, they've been working on this stuff. Or
you got Gen
like,
1, Gen 1.
No, I mean like
151. Gen 5 was something like that too. Gen 5
no, but I mean like over that, like 200 Pokemon.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like I feel like the pushback is like, that's ridiculous. It's never been done before, or it's just like too much, and they wouldn't invest in it. But I'm like, I guess the way I look at it is they have stuff that they just haven't revealed. So it's not like they need to create it all in like a month. It's like a lot of these designs already exist.
Yeah, I would only say base game they're not going to do 200, but maybe by the end of generation 10 we could be at 200. Yeah. I just think it's just too overwhelming, I think, for the player to deal with 200 just like that, because then you have all of the old ones as well. Not only the player but the developers. That's another thing to think about.
No, that's true. Maybe 150 is like a good spot. I guess. Yeah, I guess that's true. 150 is a good spot.
Once we get to the end, once there's DLC, like they add 50 more Pokemon, it's like, okay, we hit 200, but it's like a slow introduction is the point of it.
No, I guess that makes sense. I guess this is maybe a conversation for a different day, but I guess I'm just thinking about like how big is this game going to be, and and I don't know. I'm like, when I play Scarlet and Violet, you know what? Yeah, I don't know if Pokemon diversity is really, I guess, like an issue with Scarlet and Violet. There are plenty of Pokemon to find,
for sure,
right?
There's a lot.
In like different forms and stuff. Anyways, we can get back on track. Let me read all these out, and then we can pick and choose, and then get through
do it.
Everything else. So we get Tangela in the game. Funny that they didn't put like Tangrowth on this list.
That's right there below.
Oh, it's okay. It's in the Gen 4 area. Okay. Yeah. So Tangela, Tangrowth. That'd be kind of cool to see a new form. Ladybug, Ledian, Pichu, obviously. Bellossom as part of the Oddish line. Slugma, Magcargo. Corsolas here. Also, it's got a Galarian form. We got the Swallow and Tailo, Pelipper and Wingull. We saw Wailord in the trailer. I think Wailmer as well. We got Duskull and Dusclops, Tropius. We've got Carnivine. We've got Lumineon and Finneon. Oh, Dusknoir is here as well. Timepole, that whole line. Frillish, I think is what this thing is called. It's not even a fish, but Frillish is here with its evolutions, which is kind of cool. I'm actually happy to see them because I do like those Pokemon in Gen 5.
I despise them.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these Pokemon.
They're fun, dude. They're fun.
Like none of them. I like the Pringles one. That's the one I like the most.
The Pringles one. Yeah, so that would actually be really cool to see something with that. And then we've got Tynamo.
Tynamo.
Yeah, Tynamo. Toxapex, that line's here. Sandygast is here, which is actually nice to see. That's another. It
makes sense though, right?
Yeah, Sizzlipede line. Oh, Cursola is here, and then we got Nimble as well. Was seen in the trailer, which is cool because I'm like, is that boy gonna get an evolution? Hopefully,
that'd be so cool.
Yeah,
good job, Dusty. This was like a test to see.
I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna make a prediction right now. So it's kind of interesting that we saw both Ledian and Lokix in this reveal trailer, and the reason why is because
to me
they're both based on well, I don't know if Ledian is necessarily, but they're basically both based on like Kamen Rider, Japanese superhero archetype.
Ledian definitely is.
Like that's what they are. So with them both being there, they could like sort of be tied together where they both are given like a new evolution that kind of like makes them like counterparts to each other.
I love that. I wrote it down. You might see it on Twitter eventually.
Yeah.
It's really good because they are. I didn't realize they were both there. Like, it's true,
and
and they both.
It's
are that.
interesting. I mean, at least for low kicks to be there, it kind of perks my intrigue a little bit, because it's like we just saw low kicks in Scarlet and Violet, so they didn't have to like feature it in the reveal trailer for the very next game. They could have took a break from low kicks. So bringing it back, they have a reason to do.
I do like that. No, I do like that train of thought. Like, that is exciting to imagine that like like any Pokemon that they're actually showcasing is maybe for a reason. I think we know historically that it doesn't need, like, the reveal of these Pokemon doesn't need to mean anything, but I bet there's a couple new evolutions or whatever hidden in here, which would be kind of cool.
The problem is that, like, this trailer, I don't know if it's been true about other like past trailers, but this one, all of the Pokemon like feel like they're really specific to this region. And I guess maybe it's because they're just picking them for this region, but it's like, man, that could get an evolution, like, Vileplume should get a regional form, Tropius should get an evolution. Carnivine should get an evolution, because both of those are related to Indonesia in some way, or even just the greater archipelago. Bananas are from that area, like, or originally. Sure. And there's tons of carnivorous plants in there. Like, there's so many concentrated in Indonesia. So it's like, those two got to get it. Then we got Luminion. And I could just go on and on about how many in this group are like, they should get an evolution. Sandcastle, like bigger sandcastle,
Yeah, dude.
Tons of beaches, beaches.
It is true though. Like, and again, this is the magic of Pokemon. It's like anything you could think of could be true, which is one of my favorite things. I'm looking up right now, just like I'm trying to see if there is a trailer that like maybe revealed something.
I kind of want to mention one more thing really quick.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to happen, but I think it is kind of interesting to see Wailord here. I mean, it makes sense, obviously, but Wailord is also based on a blimp. So it's got like this sky kind of motif to it.
Good.
So could you imagine, like, it won't get an
full
evolution,
of air,
but it could get like a flying type. I could see it getting like a flying type, like gimmick form or something like that. That could be cool.
Dude, that's okay. Something that we haven't talked about. Let me go to my note sheet. Is convergent Pokemon. Pokemon were introduced in Generation 9. What everyone wants to argue about, like, what they technically are called. Ecologically similar Pokemon is what that is. Wiglet is a convergent Diglett. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of cool possibilities for some of these Pokemon to also have convergent forms, because we would see, right, in Paldea, you see Diglett and you see Wiglet. So that's a really fun idea, Hoops. Wailord, maybe. I mean,
a blimp convergent would be. I didn't even.
It would become a Zeppelin.
Yeah.
I thought
you were thinking of like a regional form, but that would
no, like a convergent form.
Yeah.
That's fun, dude. That's super fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with those, because like they were new in Gen 9, but at the same time they only gave us like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
They didn't go too crazy. So I'm honestly interested to see what happens with them and with regional forms, because obviously we only got like 2 regional variants in Gen 9. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do that. Personally, I think we'll probably get a healthy handful of both of them, just because this region is so tropical, and like ecological diversity is like
that's
the
big
whole
thing.
point.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see how they like juggle that.
And the only thing bigger than this is how much we appreciate all the support that we get on this podcast, week in and week out, month to month. You guys really show up to make all of you who are supporting really make this show possible. So thank you so much. And I want to give a shout out to our producers of this podcast. We've got at Mythical Tier, Cornet Highlander, NMT Arts, SEH Art Gold, Nathan Shorter, Louis Gervais, Jen Renegade, Chief Keith, The Real Pokey God, Steven 3338, The Pokey Kid 01, as well as Zun or Zon, Father Dagda, Duke Norton, Ball Guy, Tyler Lowe 15, and Ryan. Thank you guys so much. All of those names are at the mythical tier, and we also have to give a big shout out to our Game Freak Inc. supporters on YouTube as well as on Patreon. Bramtastic and Young Smokey a second time, because this man just can't get enough. He's really got he's flexing on all of us, and he really he's appreciated. You're all appreciated. We love you guys so much. If you guys want to get in on the action and have your name read on the show as a producer, you can head over to the link in the description, either on Patreon or YouTube, whatever your preference is. Mythical tier or higher gets you one of these producer credits, and you can actually pay annually. That's a feature on Patreon to actually get a pretty big discount, a 20% discount on any of the memberships that you sign up for. If you want to maybe just get in on the ground level as a legendary tier member, I mean, these are our ground troops. These are our unknowns. This is the bulk of the community. $5 a month gets you 4 bonus monthly podcasts. That's a whole podcast every single week. We usually post those on Mondays. And it also gets you access to the Discord. That's where all of the stuff is happening. When the conversation's over on the podcast, there's conversations in the Discord. There's over 500 people in there. And we're honestly building up the Discord. We have started to implement a lot of. This isn't the time for this. Anyways, we're doing a lot of new stuff. Q&As. Where we're having people decide on what kind of shows you guys want to see on the podcast going forward. We're picking up the Battle League again. We're doing movie nights again. There's a lot of really good stuff in the Discord if you're unaware. But we appreciate all of you guys. Any support that you guys do at any tier is appreciated. Thank you so much. And now back to the video.
Yeah. Out of this group, I don't know what you guys think, but let's say in Gen 9 there was 5 or 6 maybe cross-gen evolutions. Out of this group, I'm like, which ones do you think actually get in there? And like, they're not going to be just from this group. So to me, it's like Tropius, Carnivine, Luminion, and possibly Ledian are like my top of this group.
Convergent forms?
Evolutions.
Okay, evolutions. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like they just fit for cross-gen evolutions. Like they need something. Maybe Ledian doesn't. Maybe Ledian gets a gimmick form instead.
No, Ledian 100% needs something.
Yeah, I know.
I know you like it, but it needs it the most. It's so bad.
Exactly. But the thing is, like, all those other ones have better reasons to get something, essentially.
Yeah. But like, does it need a reason? Like, I'm trying to think of some example. Like, I mean,
just for the region itself to like.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? Like they are.
Yeah, but like Farigiraf got an evolution. Dunsparce got an evolution in Paldea. Bisharp. That's like, you're right. Bisharp's evolution is like a samurai.
Yeah, I will actually tell you why Girafarig and Bisharp got evolutions. This goes back to what we were talking about with like Applin and Duraludon. It's basically just like they're a good fit for the region, because there was, and I'm paraphrasing my past research, so I'm probably going to get some stuff wrong. Mm-hmm. But I know that there was some kind of ancient giraffe whose like fossil was originally found in Spain, so that connects to Girafarig. And then chess actually has a lot of its origins that trace back to Spain as well. Okay. So that's 100% why Bisharp got an evolution. Because I actually, before we even got any new Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet, I did an April Fool's video with new Pokemon in it. And I like looked up, what would be good? And I made a Pokemon that like had a chess inspiration, because I discovered that. And so when King Gambit was there, I was like, that's why.
That's cool, man.
So there will be a lot of that kind of stuff here. And to Soul's point, that's why like Tropius makes sense, or Vileplume. I personally think Luminion is my number one on this list. Mm-hmm. I think I would probably have to say Ledian number 2. I really like that Ledian low kicks idea, because I can totally see,
dude, like, hero.
Like, they're even like a hero and a villain, because low kicks is dark type. So like, I can see low kicks becoming something, and then Ledian like evolves to like rise up.
That's super fun, dude.
To fight it.
Love it.
That's super
and then
fun.
I think a wild card that I'm kind of liking the idea of here is Toxapex. I feel like Toxapex kind of could make sense.
Yeah, Toxapex is. I mean, I do. Listen, I guess like I don't care too much about like I don't think VGC viability affects whether or not a Pokemon gets.
You thought of it. I thought of it too, but I didn't say anything. I was like,
well, no, I was gonna say I don't think it has anything to do like VGC. I don't think affects whether or not a Pokemon gets an evolution because I think VGC, unless it's like a legendary like Landorus, it's probably not going to be like it's pretty. I feel like it fluctuates. It depends on the meta. So many things affect that, right? But I do think a Pokemon's like base stat total can affect that. And if not the base stat total, doesn't Toxapex have like over 120 like both defenses or something? Like it is pretty busted. If it got an evolution, I guess is what I'm thinking is like they would have to balance it so it's not like even like its defense stats get even more, you know, defenses, right?
They'd probably change it.
Yeah. Like they might. I always appreciate a sidestep where it's like, well, this one's offensive, you know?
Yeah. So Toxapex has like, it actually has insane defense. It has 152 physical defense. And
52. Oh my God.
And 142 special defense. But
that's insane.
With that said, its base stat total is only 495. So it could get an evolution that gets it to like the 550 range or something like that. I could see that. Okay. Or kind of to your point, it could get like a form or a conversion or something like that that's like flipped and it's like offensive. Like stuff like that would be really cool.
That makes sense. I'm going to speak for the audience. Tropius. We all want Tropius. Every single person in the world wants a new Tropius evolution. That'd be so sick.
Not me, but sure.
Give it a dragon type. Hoops, I think.
Soul just mentioned, though, that you want something for Tropius. So if you don't want an evolution, what do you want?
Oh, no, I don't want anything for Tropius. I just think it's the most likely. I don't actually care for Tropius that much.
Okay.
Gotcha. No, I don't actually.
For me,
I think Tropius is fine, but it's just.
It's really weird to me because like everyone has been crying for a Tropius evolution, but I have always looked at Tropius and I'm like, I don't know. And I've kind of explored the idea myself, but like historically, I've always kind of thought like, I don't know if there's much room for it to evolve again. Like it looks like it's a pretty like big kind of Pokemon, you know? So like I've always personally thought that like a pre-evolution would make more sense because it's like a baby version of that would be adorable.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty cool.
That's actually on my. So we have like little lists here of stuff that we thought might happen, and that was one of the ideas I had. There is because I was looking at beta Pokemon. Tropius had a pre-evolution in the Gen 3 beta. I don't know if you want to pull up the picture you have there, Dusty, but there's in the Gen 3 beta thing. There's one guy. It's not in order.
No,
but,
it's not in order.
He's like a little like a
up at the top.
Oh
right.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Now I don't know if that would be what they would do, but they would do something maybe similar to it. You know?
Yeah. I'm always curious with like I feel like I'm not trying to like split hairs, but it's like, do we really know if that is supposed to be the baby form of Tropius?
Yeah, I don't like when they do that either, but apparently in like the data it is confirmed to like be a Tropius pre-evolution. Okay. So but to me I agree with you. I'm like, how do they really know? And I haven't looked at the data myself, but what all when the majority of people are like looking at it and telling us that, I tend to lean that way because someone's going to call it out.
So a little further to the left of that pre-evolution, tell me that's not a beta Toxapex Marini right there.
Yeah.
This thing right, where is it? This little like green thing?
Green thing,
mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see it. I don't know what this is supposed to be.
I don't know if that's... I have no idea if that's like a reworked actual Hoenn Pokemon, but like I feel very confident that that's like early Toxapex, which speaks to
I see it.
The ability for older like beta Pokemon that were maybe supposed to be for these older generations coming back and being reused. And one of those that I think is very possible, it's kind of been in the rumor the rumor mill recently is the flying fish from Gen 2.
Yeah.
And that just makes sense because it's literally
I had that on my list too.
flying and
Yeah.
a fish.
It
So-
also is, it's like the perfect, we were talking about there being a lot of marine animals, but like not all of them have to be fish. So like this is like a bird fish kind of thing, you know? So it like is
Right.
kind of different than just another fish Pokemon,
Yeah.
even though it kind of is, but it makes sense.
And that would be super unique because like interpreting it more literally to where it's like a fish with bird wings as opposed to
Mhm.
like the literal flying fish
Yeah.
would be pretty cool.
My favorite theory, and this is not really real because I think again, and I honestly I have no idea. This Gulpin to me looks like a
Should've
egg,
evolved.
like a baby, or not a baby, but a pre-evolution for Tropius. Like the
Bro, I love
idea
that. Yeah.
is that this you know it has the same face as Gulpin, but instead of being like a stomach slime ball, he's like an egg, and he's got the
Mhm.
same pattern as Tropius, the same like gold pattern. And to me, it's like a golden egg, right? Golden goose egg, a golden dragon egg that hatches, and it almost looks like Tropius is like still wearing some of that, or some of like
Right.
the eggshells are still left on his body. And again, the diamond pattern that is on Tropius, that is on the Beta Gulpin egg, is also kind of like those angles, the sharpness of the whatever they're called. What am I saying? The
Diamonds?
Yeah, the diamonds. The shape of the diamonds is also on the Tropius. So
I didn't see that before, but that makes a lot of sense because
Yeah.
dinosaurs come out of eggs.
100%. I also just like that trope. Like it reminds me of like, it's kind of what I wish we got for like Togepi,
Yeah.
right? Instead of
Yeah.
like a just like
Angel.
the whatever we ended up getting.
I guess birds come out of eggs though too.
They
it
do,
kinda works.
100%,
It kind
yeah.
of works.
But that's something that I like.
Also, sir,
Um,
that is a swalot.
Oh, what was I saying? Gulpin?
Gulpin. No, I'm just
Yeah. No, Swalot. Yes,
I had
was
to.
saying- no, it's Swalot
for the
yeah.
comments.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah. So yeah, no, there's some cool stuff here.
Also,
Dude,
if you look in the Gen
those
5
are-
one, I don't know if people agree with me, but I think Basculin used to be a flying fish as well. Like I think it was meant to be a flying fish instead of a bass at first. Either that or it's just like a fish that jumps really high out of the water or something. Look at it. There you
no,
go.
I see that, man, 100%.
So
didn't
I
even
think-
notice that.
I think, we could just get a regular fish that's a flying fish, because
Yeah.
we were talking about just the rumor of there's a flying fish Pokemon coming to Winds and Waves. So
Yeah.
it could be reworked. It could be Basculin or the actual bird fish.
I hadn't even seen this, dude. This is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Basculin could have been a flying
Basculin
fish.
was super cool at one
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. And okay, so we also had this like this new, I guess it's not a trailer. It's this symphony.
It is. People were freaking out. They're like, this is
Yeah.
actual news.
Yeah, there was a video that they put out that the Pokemon Company put out. It's called the NHK Symphony Orchestra. And they're just like playing the theme music for Winds and Waves that we heard in the original trailer.
Mhm.
But there's some Pokemon here that weren't in the trailer. We got Bellsprout, that whole line. Bellsprout, Weeping Bell, Victory Bell. And to be honest, it would be pretty cool if Weeping Bell got like a split evolution. Because I'm glad Victory Bell got a mega, but I think there's a lot. I don't know. I like the line, and I'm like, I think there's other directions it could take potentially. And then
It also did have a beta Pokemon that was a split evolution. Was it split evolution? Or it was
yeah,
because
it
Victory
was.
Bell already existed. Yeah.
yeah, I
That
forgot about
also
that.
that also speaking of Victory Bell getting a mega, that almost makes me even more convinced that Vileplume will, because
Mm-hmm.
those two are version exclusive counterparts to each other.
Yeah, dude,
So
I
they-
forgot about this guy. Yeah, it's like
Bellsprout, really.
yeah. Instead of like the evolution relying on like the giant, like the bell or like the flower, it's like, what if it? I mean, I don't like this design, but I think they could. It almost becomes like a tree. That's kind of what I'm
Mhm.
seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Which maybe they scrapped it because it was like too similar to
To Bellsprout.
or I was gonna say too similar to like Executor, but
Oh yeah, I could see that.
but yeah, they I don't know, they could do something else with that. That's always possible.
Mhm.
And then
I think
we
with
also
these
see-
plushies, guess who's there again? Guess who's there? Luminion is
Luminion?
just sitting right in the front. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this, like, when you were saying it, I was waiting for this moment to be like, he's there again. That's like,
Yeah,
you know, he's like the
Toxapex.
mascot or something. Something's
Yeah.
happening with Luminion.
Well, it's
Tropius
probably-
is there.
And if you look even further back to like it's in Pokopia and it's in Scarlet and Violet, there's that Luminion picture in Nemona's house.
Yes, the
that's
painting.
like-
I forgot the painting.
It's not
too.
even just like I've mentioned this, and people will sometimes comment and say, well, that's in Pokopia too, so that doesn't mean anything. And I'm like, well, they can also put it in Pokopia and also have it be a hint. But it's like literally that painting is the exact image, like the exact scene that we see in the trailer. Like it's swimming in the coral reef. Like it's like
Mhm.
almost one for one the exact like same like picture basically.
Yeah.
So-
The whole like diving thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so like basically we've got it featuring in the reveal trailer. We've got it featuring again in this
Symphony trailer.
Symphony trailer. We've got it being teased in Scarlet and Violet and Pokopia, and we've also got that Neon Abyss location. Like
It's a
they
lock.
they are gonna
It's a
do
lock.
something, and the fact that they're like emphasizing it so
Luminion.
much, the fact that they're emphasizing it so much tells me that it could be like pretty important, or it could be
Yeah.
like a pretty big glow up.
Yeah.
Luminion also has a beta design that kind of looks different enough to be like, oh, maybe they
Oh,
could pull from
right.
that.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know, maybe
you're-
give it a longer tail, more like, you know, like more eel-like with bigger angel wings kind of thing. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
Luminion, what is it called? Like
Right
the butter?
there.
It's like a butterfly fish or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Finion does look so much different. It's like pink and white. And it I guess looks more, I mean, what, so is that what it's called? Hold on.
I love the beta Luminion, by the way.
It is pretty good.
It's
let's
like
see,
the design I wanted
Luminion.
for it.
I'm trying to look up what it's actually called. Oh, it's just called the Neon Pokemon.
The neon Pokemon in
Yeah,
the
wow.
Neon Abyss.
yes.
Yeah. It's happening.
No, so it just has pectoral fins that resemble butterfly wings. So it's not necessarily, but that's a really fun idea. It's like the I mean, there we go, winds and waves again, right? It's like something
Ooh.
that normally flies
Yeah.
can now be in the water. That's kind of fun.
Can you go back to that page that you were just on? Hoops actually did a I don't even know, is it Luminion Evolution?
Oh my
But
god,
love,
yeah.
I love this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is that like Luminion is the neon Pokemon, but it doesn't show that. Like
Yeah.
it
Mhm.
does not look neon at all. So I think it getting something that's more colorful, that's possibly electric type, that's just like emphasizing that more would be perfect. And it would be perfect for Winds and Waves because it's like featuring those types of traits where like Pokemon can glow and shine and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's a lock for me.
I would love that.
I'm trying to think about like how it could evolve a little bit differently because you've got, where are my tabs here? Yeah. So this, I guess they really could just get a split evolution.
Mm,
The
maybe.
beta
I think it just
Luminion
needs
is
an
so
evolution,
different. It
so-
really is so different.
Yeah.
It's
This
kind
was
of
more of a lantern, like angler eel vibe to it.
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah,
if you
cool.
made Luminion like Lantern is basically
Mhm.
what it is.
weird, man.
Which RIP lantern
Yeah.
evolution, because I would prefer that, but
I mean,
this is happening.
Luminion for sure, yes, but I don't think Lantern is out of the running either. Like I think I think it could get something. Like I don't think because Luminion and Lantern, they're not even like, I mean, similar themes you could say with like
They're
the
fish,
light.
but they're so
They're
different.
fish, but like
Yeah.
they're not even like connected in any way. So
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm with you. That's
Thank
the
you
thing.
for the
We're looking
opium.
at this list, but it's like we're looking at this list, but like honestly, anything, like literally anything could happen.
Well, yeah.
Like
that's the whole
there
point.
there will be
Except
Pokemon that we
know
haven't even seen.
Luminion's getting something.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know Luminion's getting something. I'm thinking
that is enough evidence for me. That whole thing. That's like 90%.
maybe. Yeah.
And also, I'm just noticing. Go back to the Google search page.
I'm so there's so
Someone
many
someone's
tabs.
using my design on TikTok, so I gotta get on
Yippee.
TikTok
Sure, good point.
and get over there. I've been meaning
No,
to
that's a
do
good point.
that.
Yeah, bro,
But,
you should.
Anyway,
I was thinking of that too. I'm like, I got to start putting my reels on Facebook.
Hmm.
So we also have in this Symphony trailer Comfey. There's a Comfey plushie, so Comfey is probably going to be in the game, and Oranguru. Both of those are both from Alola. Both of those are single stage. Both of those are kind of like based on tropical things. I do like to see Oranguru here because it's a little bit less of like a little, I don't know. It's based on an orangutan, which is like, I feel like something you can then, I feel like it's easy to like kind of imagine what a new evolution would look like for it or something. Same thing for Comfey. Comfey is this little fairy type, and I'm like, this thing also could evolve very easily. They're both just single stage, so I could see them getting something.
This whole thing, I think it is 100% intentional that they're all there because all of them are themed around the region once again.
Yeah.
Orangutans come from this part of the world. Like, it's crazy. So, and Comfey is just like the whole vibe. Actually, I think someone in my comments when I mentioned this was saying that the lei that Comfey is based on is actually from Indonesia, or not Indonesia, the Philippines. There's a specific lei that's from there. So they could do like some kind of connection there. Yeah. My thing is, I don't know if they put them there to just signify where the region is coming from, or if those Pokemon are actually in the game. I'm still like 99% like they might not be in the game. They're still just plushies in a video thing. But also, just to finish it, when I see them, I'm like, okay, if they're in the game, that means they're not going to get regional forms. But like a regional form of Oranguru with like being orange and more like a proper orangutan would make sense. But now it's like it's not going to get that. Does it really look like it would get an evolution?
Here's what I think. I don't think you could necessarily totally exclude the possibility of these Pokemon getting forms or something, because all we see is the plush. We don't see like them in game. With that said, though, this is literally a promotional video for Winds and Waves with these Pokemon like appearing in the first shot.
Yeah, they want people.
They're all tropical, so there's no way that these Pokemon are not going to be in the game. Like,
they're expecting people to watch this even a year from now, you know? So I don't think they're going to like put anything in here that would be like incorrect. But a way that Oranguru could evolve, I always like to look at like maybe the most recent Dex entries, because I feel like if Game Freak is planning for them to evolve, they could leave a little hint in the most recent Dex entry. So in ZA, it says, this is ZA, no, this is, I'm sorry, Violet.
Scarlet Violet,
Yeah, in Pokemon Violet, it says the purple cape-like fur gets longer and longer as Oranguru ages. So I can imagine an evolution. Also, all of its other Dex entries talk about how like intelligent it is and how it fights with Slowking. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of imagining like maybe it getting like a King's Rock evolution, right? It's already this wise like sage wizard. That's kind of like the look it has, like a fortune teller. And I could see it evolving to become maybe even, I don't know, maybe even slower. I don't know. But the cape would grow all the way to the ground. It would have like a full veil.
I cannot see this thing evolving. He's just complete to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I also see that. See that.
I mean, a form could happen. I don't want it
Sure.
To me,
well, I don't think it's going to get a form. I don't believe
dreams or anything.
I mean, if you look at, here's the thing, it's got 490 BST. It definitely could. It's got room to grow. You know,
I think with this kind of Pokemon, like to me, the size of the Pokemon always is a big indicator, and Oranguru is just big enough that's like I don't really see it becoming even bigger with an evolution. That's not always the case, but to me, that's just the vibe I get.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll either just be left alone, or it could be a Pokemon that gets one of the gimmick forms, because it's like very applicable to Indonesia. So it's like I could see that, but otherwise I think it'll just be itself.
Totally.
Or we just get a brand new orangutan Pokemon. I mean, that's always an option.
No, that's true. That is actually true. Yeah. And then we also have Comfey. And this is a Pokemon that I always wanted to like. I think specifically because of Battle, because I liked a lot of prankster sets with my Sableye, and I was like, oh, this thing kind of has it also kind of has like priority with healing moves. But
cute.
It is cute, but it's also just not that powerful. And so I guess if this thing had to evolve, I would imagine it would, because it's not actually a lei. It's based on like a lei, like like a necklace of flowers. And that seems like a tropical vacation kind of thing. I feel like that's something you would see, or something. Yeah,
It's very Hawaiian.
Yeah,
like,
now I'm thinking it's
Polynesian
probably.
vibes.
Yeah, now I'm thinking it's probably it's probably like an actual cultural thing. That was yeah. So if this thing had to evolve, I wonder if there's something connected to that in whatever setting you would normally wear a lei. I'm like, what would maybe be related to that, but not a bigger lei? Because this is a little fairy Pokemon. It could steal whatever it wants, to evolve.
Yeah.
I think personally, I don't feel like Comfey could evolve, or will evolve, I should say. But I think there is potential, because it's like so specifically a lei, and that's so specifically Hawaiian, that it could potentially get something that's more applicable to Indonesia. And I don't know if they even have anything like that, but I could see it doing something. Because one idea that I have that is not Indonesian at all, but I could see Comfey evolving into a garland, something you put on your stair, your staircase type thing that you just use for decoration. There are things like that it could evolve into. It just is a matter of
what specifically would make sense for this game.
Yeah, is there something in Indonesia that fits that description?
Yeah,
that's fun.
Also, not everything not every Pokemon has to be, related to Indonesia or even the South Pacific.
Yeah, right. I try to keep that in the back of my mind. I'm like, listen, Komala is in Hawaii. Komala is in Hawaii. Yeah. But anyways, I like this little guy. I could say I would like to see it get an evolution. But let's talk about some tropes though. Okay, so obviously we know the starter Pokemon, the starter trio, but I think let's go through these tropes. The Route 1 bird, Route 1 rodent, early bug. What are we thinking? Is there anything on your lists that would match any of those things?
Let me check my notes, because I know I have some.
Maybe I'll pull up your page, Soul.
Oh, I don't have anything probably there yet. I haven't actually dug into Winds and Waves much. I've been waiting. I have lists of topics for tweets.
I saw you put some stuff up.
Today I did one, but that is actually not related to this guy.
Okay.
It is related to our topic, but it's not related to the rodents or anything.
Yeah.
But no, for the rodent, you could look up the what's it called now? It's like a deer mouse. It's like one of the most unique animals that exist in Indonesia.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And to me, it makes sense. Or mouse deer, maybe. I don't know why I would. Anyway.
No. Oh. Yeah, I pull this in my mind. I was looking at this creature when conceptualizing what one of the starters would be. This is a really cool Pokemon. Yeah, it is called the mouse deer, not Pokemon.
Mouse deer, yeah.
It would make a good Pokemon, the mouse deer, the Chevrotain.
It's just so unique, and it's already a Pokemon.
Yeah,
and it lives in this area.
Interesting.
It's a great picture.
Sorry about that, guys. Wasn't looking. That'll now be they're in the retention graph. We're going to see a giant spike right there. So if you're listening, yeah.
But it's funny that we were talking about Pokemon or animals not being from this region or from this country. I'd say there's a deer that has fangs that is not from Indonesia at all, but I could see this little mouse deer being a Pokemon and then evolving into that deer that has fangs. It's like a vampire deer or something. It's crazy looking, but it makes sense. First stage mouse, second stage this thing, which is a half deer, and then the last one's a deer with fangs. They look very similar.
That would be awesome.
I like this a lot. This is honestly really, really fun. It kind of reminds me of it's weird enough. It's already, you're right. It's already a mixture of a bunch of different traits that we would normally see on other creatures. So this reminds me of a Nidoran line. This reminds me of Sandshrew. A lot of those Pokemon from earlier generations. And they can make it feel, they really wouldn't have to do much to make it feel unique as a Pokemon, right? And not
to me, this is a Route 1 normal type animal, like mammal, whatever.
Yeah.
So
I feel like those Route 1 Pokemon, sometimes they really just end up with like, it's either the normal type or the dark type that they have. Yeah, this would be honestly, I hope to see something like this for
it should at least be a Pokemon in the
rodent.
region.
Yeah.
But I could see it being the Route 1 rodent thing.
Yeah. Honestly, the Route 1 bird, it's on my list, but actually I'm remembering that like I feel like that's even a little bit kind of up for grabs. Like it might not even exist. Like
I
feel like
kind of are, to be honest.
Well,
Except for maybe
because
the bugs.
in Scarlet and Violet, because it's an open world game, like yes, there were early route like bug types, and there were early route I guess they weren't rodents, but they were mammals, right? Lechonk was the
Lechonk
is what the Pokemon was. But what's kind of funny is that like what normally would classify as like an early route bird, like Wattrel, you can't actually get until like closer to the midway of the game. Like you can't get it early on your adventure. Not that this like really matters for like, you know, like we're just talking about classification. But it's kind of interesting because they could change these things up, you know, like,
well,
they really could
sometimes they can, I think they can change it up in terms of like where they place the Pokemon, either in like the game or the Pokedex.
Yeah.
But I think it'll still be there. Cause like, obviously Wattrel, Kilowattrel, they were still present. And then something similar that happens in Gen 5 happens with like Scolipede. Scolipede's supposed to be the Venipede, I should say, the first stage. It's supposed to be like the bug, but you can't get it until I think you have to beat like a gym or two before you can even find it. So
yeah,
I think they can definitely mess with that a little bit, but at this point it's like they've done this 10 times in a row. Like they're good. They're gonna do it. Like it's gonna happen. So
yeah.
But yeah, this is a great prediction for that. I think that could be cool for sure.
I think also like for a bug type Pokemon, we could see one of those crabs that we were talking about earlier in the episode as part bug type. And I think that'd be kind of cool.
I was going to say, sorry to like, halt you, but,
please.
When we were looking at Soul's page, he had this like shrimp Pokemon, and I don't even think he was talking about it in this context, but I would love like one of these early route Pokemon. The bug would probably be the best to do it with. That's an aquatic creature, because it's like
that makes sense.
We're in the water and dealing with the water, especially because like shrimps and like crabs and stuff like that, they're kind of low-key bugs. Like like, and
we've seen it only a couple of times, but yeah, for real.
Pokemon knows it though. They've done it with Dwebble and somebody else too. I forget.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
For this crab, I was looking a lot at beta Pokemon. I guess it's a shrimp actually. I was looking at a lot of beta Pokemon, and I think that this is coming back in this region because they literally live there. These mantis shrimp, and this was a Gen 3 cut Pokemon, so I could see it maybe being a bug type. I don't know.
It's a cool It's a cool looking creature.
Bug water, yeah. I mean, especially if it's a mantis shrimp.
Yeah,
like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It's the next Scyther. It's the next Ceruledge.
Yeah.
Let's see it, dude. Oh,
apparently they have the fastest punch in all of the animal kingdom.
That's fighting type.
Bug fighting lives in the water. Yeah.
I mean, that would be awesome, because like we don't get a lot of Pokemon that are like, if they live in the water, they're water type. If they live on a mountain, they're probably rock type. You don't typically get Pokemon that are like they live in the water or they live in a volcano, but they're not those types. So something like
you're
that
totally
could
right.
be really kind of just like a nice surprise.
And also like, you know, like last week we talked all about you know, the map of the region. And I guess I am thinking about that a little bit in this discussion, where it's like, if you're starting, no matter where you start in the game, you're likely to be, I mean, we're going to be around water the whole time. And I think the new Pokemon that get introduced in this game, like we might see a thing where it's like, there are a lot of Pokemon that normally, if it was in a previous Pokemon generation, they just would have had the water type. But because in this game, it would feel stupid or redundant to make every single thing water type, that they just might end up with like some more unique typings, which I mean, I welcome that.
I 100% see that, and that reminds me a lot of like what they did with the future Paradox Pokemon. They didn't make them all steel or electric type.
Right.
Yeah.
They like switched it up a little bit. So I think you could absolutely see that with a lot of the water-based Pokemon.
Yeah, dude. That's funny. I never thought about it, but you're right. Like every past Paradox could have been like a dragon type.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Which actually would have been kind of
or
sick.
fighting, because apparently a lot of them were fighting.
Sure. Yeah.
I
that's a
agree
fun
with
one.
that. I kind of like when they do that. I like when they you think it should be something, maybe, as long as it makes enough sense for it them to be it. Like problem with like Graplocked is it's like just pure fighting. It could be water and fighting. It lives in the water still, but
again, it's like because, and I haven't actually thought about this, but because like when you're playing through Scarlet and Violet or whatever it is, Sword and Shield. Man, dude. Yeah. When you're playing through Sword and Shield, like you find it on a water route and all of your options are water types or ice type, except for this thing. And so like, if it was a water type, you might get disincentivized from picking it up. You might, if you want to get something else, but
it's just so aquatic feeling.
Yeah.
That you're like, it
does kind of go both ways. Cause personally, I feel like I would be more interested if it was water fighting type, as opposed to just fighting type.
It probably depends on the Pokemon, like, because this guy is like, and also it's just mono fighting. That's really the hardest thing to deal with this. If the bug that we were just talking about was bug and fighting, and it lived in the water, and it's like based on a shrimp, you're like, that makes so much sense. You know, it's still, and it's clever. I think when it's clever, it's good. This feels like they were just like, we have too many water types, so let's just take away the water type.
Yeah, it like doesn't feel like if there's another type in there, then it feels like justified. But otherwise, it's just like kind of a miss. It feels more like a missed opportunity.
Give us a reason, you know.
Oh, dude, I forgot about this Lantern evolution you did, Hoops.
Yeah. So my vision is that Lantern could get an evolution that becomes like the ride Pokemon in the water, because it could ferry you above the water from island to island, but it could also ferry you below the water because it's got a light source.
I love it,
bro. That's so good. Yeah.
So
I'm
like
good.
kind of nervous about the whole ride Pokemon situation, because we know there's that scooter thing that exists. So I hope they don't mess that up. But
sure.
I can't imagine the scooter like taking you underwater. So I feel like a Pokemon helping you do that. Just I hope.
There was nothing on that, actually. Like we haven't seen a picture of the underwater traversal methods. So also, when you look at ZA's beta content, this is a tangent, but when you look at ZA's beta content, you're like, they changed so much throughout development. Obviously we could ride on Go-Go at one point, and and then in ZA we don't ride on anything, we just run. So the whole like scooter, or what is it? I guess it is a scooter thing. It's not that it could change because it was in the promotional art, but like maybe how it works changes. So we'll see.
Because the other thing that kind of makes me wonder too is that, like, yes, the scooter or the hoverboard, it looks more like a hoverboard.
Yes, hoverboard.
it's in the artwork for the player character, so like we can assume that it probably will function as like a bike or something like that. But like with this game being big and open world and there being so much water, like I can't really imagine just using just the hoverboard to do all the water traversal, because that would be a long time in the open water on a dinky little hoverboard. Like, it doesn't feel as like tangible or like realistic as just like putting us on a Lapras or something.
Dude, I know. It's like, it just feels more immersive when you're on the back of a Pokemon. All right, I want to read through some of these like other tropes that we could see. And please, I know you guys have lists, so just interrupt me if there's something that like matches one of your ideas. But one of them is a regional Pikachu clone. That is another.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Obvious, like that's going to happen. I don't know what it's going to look like.
I don't have an idea for that, but one thing I will say about it is that it's going to have most likely stuff. I hate.
It's Windy Chew and Wavy Chew. I forgot.
It's, to quote Lumi, Mr. Windy Chew and
Mrs. Wavy Chew.
Give them some respect. I told Lumi that I would.
Did I not say it right?
That would happen.
Yeah, you're right.
You said Windy Chew and Wavy Chew. You didn't give them the Mr. and Mrs. You didn't give them their title.
No, I call them
some respect.
I call them it's MWMW.
Okay.
There you go.
Sure. Yeah, it's like saying it's like Swish or SV or yeah. PLA. Okay, right.
But
You
I
gotta
was gonna
abbreviate
say
it.
I think most we will get a Pikachu clone, and most likely, in my opinion, it's going to have some kind of new type because every Pikachu clone since Gen 5 has had a secondary type, and they've all had different ones. You've got Emolga with the flying type, Dedenne fairy type, Togedemaru has the steel type, Morpeko has the dark type, and Palmy has the fighting type. So it's going to get something different most likely. And I feel like we've used a decent amount of types, so it could potentially get something like kind of interesting, like fire or like, I don't know, like just something
fun.
different that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
Looking at these types, none of them really feel. I mean, there's some special types, but they don't really feel like elemental. Like we're not seeing like ice, fire, grass, water. We're not seeing any of that.
Right.
Although I say water,
I feel like a lot of these.
Yeah,
like I feel like a lot of these are kind of like if you imagined a Pikachu clone and you're like, we want to give it a second type. A lot of these types are kind of like what I would expect. And so now we're kind of to the types like water or fire or ghost or I don't know.
Yeah,
like
honestly, ghost makes sense.
They're the kind of types that you wouldn't necessarily think of.
Yeah.
And that gets me excited because it's like, what would a rock type Pikachu clone look like? That sounds cool,
No, that is fun. Actually, I like electric rock a lot because no, never mind. I was gonna say never mind. Electric type.
Grow a beard.
No, electric type is already good because I'm thinking about like again, this game is winds and waves. I'm imagining there's gonna be a lot of flying and water type Pokemon. Electric type is just good against both of those. I was gonna say electric rock because rock would have an advantage against flying, but it's
not water.
So is electric. Yeah,
maybe that's why Mr. Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew are secretly the legendary because electric is strong against both of them.
Yeah, maybe. Ooh, maybe they're the third.
Maybe there's a trio master that's electric type.
Yeah, it's Monsieur Raichu. Monsieur Stormy Chew.
Yeah,
those two are so like. Why do they even introduce that? They have to be something. They have to be.
I absolutely despise that whole theory, and so if it is any kind of like accurate, I just hope they do it in a way that isn't really cringy because that whole idea just sounds really cringy.
Yeah,
like I do not want to follow around Mr. Wavy Chew the whole game, and then all of a sudden I'm like, Mr.
And you're like,
Wavy
I
Chew,
knew it.
What are you doing? And he takes off his glasses and he's this legendary Pokemon. Like I do not want that. Like
oh my
no,
God.
It makes me scared of what the legendaries could be actually, because like I like my legendaries to be pretty serious, not like kind of goofy. So
yeah, I also don't think that like I see the logic of people's idea with that, but I also don't feel like it's not like a given. Like I think they will have something to do with the story, but personally, I feel like to me they feel tied to the hotel.
Yeah,
because they're tourists, and so I feel like they could just kind of be a thing in the hotel, and maybe I could almost see them functioning almost kind of like the Rotom decks from Alola where it gave you tips and stuff. It could just be like your buddy that like points you in the right direction or something. So basically I'm giving hope to my fellow people who don't want this to happen. But there could be other options. Other options.
Damn. Yeah, honestly, as a group, I kind of love all of these goofballs because I do like that each one gets like a new type. That is pretty fun. All right, let's see what else. Also on my list is, we normally get dog Pokemon, but we have Pombon. But I do think we could still see something else. I still think we could see like literally every generation there's like a dog, right?
Yeah.
Growlithe, Houndoom, Electrike, maybe not in Generation 4.
Lately, in more recent generations, we have been getting like early dog
Yamper,
Pokemon because we've got
three lines
Yamper,
yeah.
we've got those ones, we've got Rockruff. So
I guess, yeah, no.
I feel like if it's not a dog, it's a cat. So it's
yes,
like one of
that's
the
also
two.
on my list. Cat.
Yeah.
Well, a cat, like, I guess we don't always get a cat, but I don't know. I guess I was thinking about Purloin or a Meowth. Dude, we could get a regional Meowth. That's kind of fun.
I would love that.
That's not like a thing yet. That's not like a true pattern. But it could be.
I have a video that should be up by the time this podcast is
let's
up,
go.
where I kind of explored that idea because it's like they gave Meowth an Alolan form and then a Galarian form, so it brought up this idea that like Meowth could be the Pokemon that gets a regional variant in every region, and that could be its thing, which would be really cool because so many of the other classic Kanto Pokemon have like something cool going for them. Like Pikachu's the mascot, the starters have like a million different forms. Eevee evolves a bunch of different ways and into different Pokemon. Meowth is kind of in that echelon of Kanto Pokemon, but it doesn't have anything going for it. So like this could be the thing that it does, which also kind of makes sense with it being a cat because domestic cats just kind of like adapt to wherever they are. Yeah. And it would just be a lot of fun. So it is fun. I would love to see that.
There's been so many awesome fan creations out there. Like I feel like it's been a trend for the last like 4 years, probably since Galarian Meowth came out. But I think it's awesome. There's so much. Look at this. That was a nice type Meowth. This could be like a new Persian that's like a little bit more like a. I mean, this just looks like Chiampao, truthfully. But there's a lot of cool things they could do with that. Also on my list is, let's see, we talked about we're gonna get a fish. We got that. A new plant Pokemon, like a proper plant Pokemon. I think we have talked about this. I would say the one that I'm thinking about is like the durian or perhaps like a dragon fruit. And I think that also could be worked into maybe a Woobat regional, as we discussed. Or I think there's some cool fruits that could be adapted.
I kind of feel like I don't know if the pineapple is much of a thing over there, but I totally could see a pineapple Pokemon.
That's fun, dude. A pineapple, like,
we got
Ludicolo.
It could be Tropius.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Banana.
Yeah.
And this could also be kind of abstract as well, because I pulled up this fan art, and it's true that Pumpkaboo is a pumpkin, which is is that a fruit? That's a fruit. It has seeds on the inside.
I think it's technically a fruit. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, Applin, if that counts. I mean, I guess it's technically not an apple, but I think we're gonna get something.
Yeah.
Bro, that's true. C-Dot. Dude, the fan art's cooking. We got Cherubi and C-Dot. I love that. There's the pineapple. Dude, a blueberry Pokemon. There's so many fun ones.
And I think something else that's important to consider, we kind of mentioned it before, but like, yes, we'll get some Indonesian Pokemon, but like they won't all be Indonesian, because one thing that I think they still try to do is they try to make sure that the Pokedex is still like digestible and still is appealing to the general public, like no matter where you come from, because it's like, if you think about it, if they made all the Pokemon super Indonesian or super Spanish or super British, like you could alienate some people who might not like that aesthetic as much, So I think I think they insert certain Pokemon in each of these generations that like basically everyone can love. That's just like, it's not necessarily Indonesian. It's just like something that like can fit the vibe, but is just this cool or cute or whatever type of Pokemon that anyone can love.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily like, I agree with what you're saying. I don't think the reason for that inclusion is because like some people wouldn't appreciate like Spanish designs, for example. I think it more so has to do with the fact that like they don't want to pigeonhole themselves into like basically recreating a Pokemon version of like an existing, like they it's still a fantasy world, so they still want to have that freedom to like interpret and do kind of whatever they want. That's what I think. I don't think it necessarily has to do with like the kids won't like Sprigatito. Right?
Well, no. I think it's both. I think like what I'm saying is that they don't want to pigeonhole themselves, but I do think there is something to the idea of like, because the games are becoming more and more themed around the regions that they're in, I don't feel like, because Pokemon is a global brand, so
Right.
like I don't think they want to, especially because it's like every game, every gen that comes out is like the game for the next 3 or 4 years. I don't necessarily think they want to pigeonhole themselves into going too far into one direction
Yeah.
that eventually kind of like alienates some of the people who might not like that direction as much.
Sure.
Because like with Winds and Waves, for instance, we're going in a tropical direction, and a tropical direction can be a direction that some people might not like. They might prefer snowy vibes or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think they try to balance it out while still representing like this part of the world.
Right.
So
And they always do something Japanese too.
Yeah, there'll be a little of both. There'll be kind of a little bit of everything.
Always do Japanese too. Somehow, some way.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, I think that's cool. I think that's cool. That
yeah, absolutely.
They always like slipping in. Let's do some New England stuff now. Come on, Game Freak.
that's not why they do it, because they are
see
Japanese,
the representation,
so
please. Okay. Also on my list is gimmick Pokemon, and I don't mean the Pokemon gimmick, but like Kecleon, Ditto, Smeargle. There's always a Pokemon that I feel like kind of plays or is like probably built off of like a weird idea, and they're like, let's take this weird, and sometimes it's battle focused, sometimes it's literally just like a concept focused. Yeah.
I mean, if we get the seed Pokemon that was in like the early stuff,
tell us about that.
Apparently, we don't know if it was cut or not, but there was a seed Pokemon that you kind of start off with, or you get early on, and I don't know if it was an actual seed, like like Sunkern or something, but it would evolve based. I don't actually know what it was based on, but it would evolve
called the seed Pokemon. Yeah,
right. It would evolve into multiple different evolutions that are just like procedurally generated. So no one evolution would be the same, essentially. So that's a gimmick in itself, and I think they probably like had to not. This is a bad choice of words, but like dumb it down a little bit. I would imagine that they would make that not as procedurally generated, like just give it a whole bunch of evolutions. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it would be a gimmick for sure if they kept those things about it.
I think that because it's been in the documents of something that they've been working on for the game. I think when we get the final version of the game, I think that will for sure be there in some capacity, because I think what they might be doing with that, I think they might be doing like a full circle moment with it being the 30th anniversary and everything, because that was actually kind of the plan for the original Pokemon games. But there's a Did You Know Gaming video that I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but they like translated some interviews or something. And basically they talk about how the original idea for the Pokemon games was for them to basically be procedurally generated, so that like every person playing had a slightly different experience. And I can't remember like how they were going to be different, like if it was like the region or the Pokemon or whatever, but basically the idea was that like
that's fun.
Your version of the game is going to be different from Dusty's, it's going to be different from Soul's. And so I feel like that the fact they're bringing this idea back could be intentional. It could be like, this is what we tried to do all the way back then. Now it's the 30th anniversary. It's the 10th generation. Like, let's make this a full circle moment and like revisit that concept. So I feel like whether it's dumbed down or not, we'll see, but I think it definitely is going to be there. And I think the seed Pokemon, it reminds me a lot of like Cosmog, the way it's like described. And I think it could have a lot of potential to be like a beloved Pokemon. Cause it's like, if it does like evolve into something that's like unique for each player, even if it's only like with like a color palette or something like that, that is going to bond you to that Pokemon all the more, because when you evolve it, that evolution is yours. No one else has that evolution but you.
Right.
Yeah. Anytime I hear this though, I'm always like, they do kind of do a little bit of this, but it's about like taking that idea a little bit further.
Right.
Yeah, which I would advocate for, because I think it's like, that's always super fun.
To back up what you were just saying, Hoops, a lot of it is the 30th anniversary, and I bet a lot of the people that started off making Pokemon that, if they're even still there, are probably thinking, you know, how much longer am I going to be doing this? So like trying to do like trying to do their original ideas in this game makes a lot of sense to me, because it's like, you know, maybe we do Gen 11 too, and that's our last generation or something, you know, or maybe, you know, as a group at least.
And that is also something they've done in the past, because like Diamond and Pearl, the whole reason you have like so many cross-gen evolutions and things like that are because those were ideas that they had to cut from previous games that they wanted to use in that game. And I think there's even an interview from like Masuda or someone who basically says that like Diamond and Pearl was going to be the ultimate Pokemon game at that point. Yeah. So they wanted to use every idea that they weren't able to use in that game. Yeah, so there is this like culture of doing.
See, but I've heard I've heard that for like Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I've heard that for Generation 2 in general.
That's because they keep thinking they're going to be done with it. They're not.
They're like, we're cooked.
Sorry, guys. You got to make some more.
Technically, Masuda has moved on from like game production, so it's interesting either way. But like, there's still got to be a group of them from the originals that are working on the games.
I mean, most of them are still there. Like, I don't know if you could call Omori an original, but he's been there since Gen 3. Sugimori is still there.
Dude, Omori might be the GOAT.
I'm pretty sure.
Everyone was clowning on him, but I'm like, after Pokopia, like,
I don't know, bro.
He's done a lot of really great games. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I'll make the case for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
that's I mean, and that's kind of sort of like it lines up with the themes that we've heard of this game, because the themes are supposed to be like kind of like passing the torch onto the next generation, and like infinity is also something like I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but like that's the word that's been used. And so I feel like the idea is that like Pokemon will continue on forever, but like things are going to change, and like it's going to be passed down from generation to generation. And so like they could be looking at this as maybe even like this could be like the last generation that the core original Game Freak team makes this game. So they want to pull out all the stops, and then Gen 11 will be like they'll retire or whatever, and a new group will take over.
Yeah.
So
this is kind of unrelated, but I'm just looking at these beta sprites from Gen 5, and like the color palette of the Clink line is kind of making me think that they were like playing with the idea of like two new, like the faces of these mechanical Pokemon are like, it's like new metal, and then not the music, and then the rest of the gears are like brown, as if they're like rusted. And so that's kind of fun to maybe imagine that we could get a new regional form or split evolution of like a steel poison type Kling that maybe in a tropical environment rusts out, you know, like when this is in the environment.
That's funny. I always thought it's just like wooden, but that makes more sense.
Or maybe
I could actually see something like that, because
isn't like the major city in Indonesia like one of the biggest cities in the world, or the biggest city in the world by like whatever. And so like I guess that could be like I could see that woven into the lore, where it's like these new mechanical Pokemon are brought to the region, but because of because it's like on an island and you have these like this salty seawater in the air, these creatures rust out a little bit. That's sick.
Well, what I was gonna say was there's this whole vibe, it looks like, of like nature versus like development.
Oh yeah.
And so something like that could fit right in with that.
Sure.
Like an evil team Pokemon or something.
Yeah, that's sick.
I wouldn't want that, but yes.
Yeah. Don't bring back Kling. Do not bring it back.
This line shouldn't exist.
It's not as good as Gen 1.
No.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. By the way, I wanted to ask you guys, have you seen the new merch in our merch store? Have you seen this? We got a ton of new merch for the 30th anniversary. This year's been crazy. You know what? We actually do need some Pokopia merch, I think, personally. That would be super fun. But we got a ton of cool designs here featuring some of your favorite Pokemon: Slowpoke, Psyduck. We got some unknown merch, the double battle, Hidden Power T. This one's on my list to pick up. But truthfully, bro, it's been so hot outside. and we got this gorgeous Blaze Kick t-shirt. And if you want to stay cool, we also have the Aurora Beam t-shirt featuring these little.
I think Hoops picked that one up. If I'm not mistaken.
I have this. I have this one in white, and I love it. It's great. It fits really well. It's just a great shirt to wear. It's awesome. I love it.
These little Snorunt. I don't think I've ever loved Snorunt anymore.
More than this.
Yeah. This really is one of our best sellers, but I think I need to pick up the double battle tee.
Yeah, it's clean.
It's got green, really, really nice. The hidden power color there. This one's Blaze Kick. And another item that's super popular right now is the iPhone MagSafe case. It features all of these stamps, which are designs that our guy Noivi created over the years, and he applied them. Some of these little sticker designs are exclusive to this iPhone case. But it's such a cool design, and there's some like retro outdated designs that are still, anyways, so many cool things here.
Art's really nice though.
Yeah, this one became actually one of our best sellers. I've been seeing it more and more. Never before has an iPhone case on our store been a bestseller, and this one is a bestseller, so go check that out.
There's honestly a lot of as a fan and now a co-host, like I honestly think this store has some of the best like PokeTuber merch that I've personally seen, and with so much like actual Pokemon merch. Like I tried to get stuff from the Target drop and it just sells out immediately. Like this is a great way to like pick something up, rep Pokemon, but also rep the pod and help support it, because it all just goes right back into obviously creating more shows and content. So it helps out a lot, and you get a great piece of merch out of it.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. Shop.hiddenpowerpodcast.com. Go check it out. Support the show. Members on YouTube or Patreon get 10% off. Next on my list, fossil Pokemon.
Ooh.
No one's talking about fossil Pokemon. I think we're gonna get new fossil Pokemon.
We need some.
Yeah,
we do need some. I specifically, you sent a little list over beforehand, and I was like trying to pick a Pokemon for each one, and fossils was tough because there's not really recorded fossils of dinosaurs or anything in like Indonesia's area. So like you could, but I feel like we might get a whole another Alola situation where because Alola, Hawaii has not been established for so long, or not enough archaeologists have gone to these places. They haven't found it much. So I don't know. There's like mammoths, maybe. Like there's some mammoths that could have.
Yeah, most of what I've seen when it comes to fossils or extinct creatures that could be made into fossil Pokemon in this area for Gen 10. Most of what I've seen, it's stuff that has been found in like Thailand, or I guess not Indonesia, in some of the islands, but instead kind of like mainland Asia, including China, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the elephant is something that I saw. I think, let me see. I think
there's a Stegodon. Yep. It has like really, really big tusks.
Giant tusks. Mm-hmm. Which you could say like maybe we'll never get that because that's Mamoswine, but Mamoswine is a pig, which is again cool. So we could get a proper, we could get a proper extinct, Stegodon turned into a fossil, which would be kind of fun. And what type would it be? If it's gonna be the rock type, because here's the thing, we haven't gotten like a proper fossil type trope
since Gen 6.
Yeah, it's been so long. So crazy. Literally so crazy. So I would love to see, so it would feel like a return to form. Right. And again, like when we're talking about Generation 10, it's like this is for a lot of people, this is either going to be their first game or their first game in a very long time. Right. Mm-hmm. So I feel like with Gen 10, it's like they want to make it like I'm looking at this game almost like soft reboot territory. Like they want to have hit all of the beats, new evolution, new fossil Pokemon, like
definitely possible.
Like I think they want to go all the way. So yeah, some new fossils would be great. The Stegodon is pretty cool.
What I just thought of was if they haven't found too many, they've definitely found like underwater ones, since like there's probably a marine kind of theming. Like you could just pick like random like underwater dinosaurs, like the ones that were mostly living underwater. And one that comes to mind is that one beta Gen 2 one that has like it's like an ankylosaurus, but it's like underwater. Do you know what I'm talking about? Hoops probably knows, but it's like got flippers, but it has a big tail with like a
what's it called?
Bone structure on it.
Ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus, but
here it is.
Yeah, but it's a water one. You know what I mean? The one in look at Gen 2 beta Pokemon. You might be.
I don't have the list up right now, but that would be cool. Let me see.
It's kind of like a boat.
What do you want to say, Hoops?
I was gonna say I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about, but I know the boat. I think you're talking about like more of like a plesiosaur type.
It is. It's a mix,
maybe,
but not the actual boat one.
And you're not talking about the starter Pokemon?
No, but that is another one as well. There's like 3. Yeah, it's not on this list.
It's not on this. Okay, then I don't know what it is.
It's part of
Gen 2? Oh, it's part of the Gen 1?
No, it's part of Gen 2, but it's part of the like later one.
Just type in Gen 2 beta boat Pokemon.
Yeah, you should probably get it.
Are you talking about like this?
Nope, that's not what I'm talking about.
Not that guy?
Nope, not that guy.
What is he talking about?
People think that it evolves from this guy.
What's he talking about?
I don't know. I thought that was it.
So can you pull it up and show us? Because I'm really curious now. Please.
I'll pull it up. I
can't find this. This doesn't.
It's a good Dino Pokemon.
I'm sure, but
he could work out. Hold on.
Dino. I gotta find this now. Dino.
I'll
this
do
thing.
It. Hold on. I'm not looking at the same time.
That's a.
Anyway, you find some other ones. I'll look for this.
I don't know if this is good or bad podcasting. Like what?
Not too good,
because it's like there's we got to solve.
It just came to me in the moment is the thing. That's why
I've never heard of this. I've probably seen it.
While Soul is looking that up.
Well, first I do want to. I didn't say this, but the Stegodon. What's kind of cool is that there's some depictions of it where it's like its tusks are on one side of its body, which is kind of cool. Like that, I feel like makes it. Like I'm imagining this is the elephant Zacian. Like in terms of a Pokemon design, and to keep it from just feeling like a Donphan or a Mamoswine or a Caparaja, this fossil Pokemon has 2 tusks on one side of its face that are curved in like a sword. And can't you just see it like swinging its head back and forth like a sword? Like that's sick. It could learn all the blade moves.
Sword tusk sounds awesome.
Yeah, that sounds so sick. It's Chiempao. Yeah, that sounds really really cool.
True.
That sounds so much fun. I just wanted to say that.
I would really like something like this too, because we have never gotten a mammal fossil Pokemon before. It's always been bugs or reptiles or plants or stuff like that. And I feel like we're due for a mammal because there's a lot of cool mammal fossils. There's mammoths, there's saber-toothed tigers, there's all sorts of really cool things. There's like megafauna that are just like insane that would make great fossils. So, and I don't know what it kind of makes sense that they might not have as many fossils because it could be like similar to Hawaii, but I just feel like, again, we have not had traditional regular fossil Pokemon in 3 generations, and they're such like a classic part of the Pokedex.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like at this point they've already done the whole, it's a tropical island, so we don't have fossils. They've already done that, and it was fine for Alola. But now I feel like bring something in from Asia, just do whatever you have to do. But like we need regular fossils. Like
more Japanese inspired Pokemon.
Yeah, I want them for sure.
No, 100%. I think you're absolutely right, and that would make it feel more fresh, rather than, that's so cool. Because here's the thing, it's like. Yeah, I guess I was going to say the first 4 fossil Pokemon, minus Aerodactyl, are just like bugs in the water, and that's fine. But like, that's not, I don't think we all, I don't know. I don't know if Ammonite is everyone's favorite. I mean, it's a cool Pokemon, but it's like, in terms of a fossil, it's like, give us the dinosaurs, give us these giant creatures. Right. You're resurrecting something from the past. Make it be, I guess in Gen 1, it kind of like the vision for those fossil Pokemon was that they were like more like niche science experiments, right? It's like you're finding this weirdo little creature, but I mean, make it Jurassic Park. That's what we all want.
That's what we want for fossil Pokemon for sure.
I guess
For
something
sure.
else I was gonna say is that like we could see for fossil Pokemon what Hoenn did, where we have these living fossils, right? Relicanth is obviously the only real confirmed one, but you could bend that a little bit, and I think there's actually a lot of examples of like living prehistoric creatures, like all of the ancient power evolutions, Yanmega, Mamoswine, Tang growth. And then my theory is that Sudowoodo is based on like fossilized tree amber, or what is it? Fossilized amber, or is it whatever? It's like a fossilized tree. Petrified
wood.
Petrified.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, petrified wood. So like, and that's just like a theory, but like in my mind, like that makes sense. Sudowoodo is it's a rock type, not a grass type. And so like we could see some weird interpretations of like prehistoric Pokemon to show the age of the region. So I think that's an option as well.
There's also the thylacine that went extinct in Australia. We can think about Australia as like,
bro, we didn't even mention that once.
I am thinking like Australia definitely has some dinosaur
you're right, 100%.
fossils. Australia definitely has some dinosaur fossils, so that could be something because it went extinct in more recent history. But also, they probably have some dinosaurs proper.
You know, I think we have to do a part 2 of this whole episode, to be quite honest with you.
Well, I found the other thing really quick
because there's so much more stuff on my list that we haven't.
I sent it to your Twitter, but also to our chat here, so it's up to you which one you want to choose.
Let's see.
Your messages.
Oh, the chat right here? No, this will be cleaner. Let's do this. Boop. Boop.
Boop, boop. Anyway, you have to scroll down just a little bit, and then you will see him. He's kind of a dino, but also aquatic.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Lost Pokemon.
Shout out to the Crypto Decks. These guys are so legit. So yeah, you just scroll down a tiny bit.
Let's see.
Okay, there.
Oh,
Wait.
dude,
Yes.
I have seen this. This is crazy. Interesting. Okay, whoa. Okay. Evolutionary relatives. So it's showing a picture for listeners. Yeah, what the heck is this? I'm trying to.
It's like a plesiosaur mixed with the ankylosaur, but it's
The most
aquatic.
common. Okay, the most common response to 344, especially when it was first leaked, was that it looked like an early Lugia, or may have been Ho-Oh legendary.
Yeah, I wouldn't read too much all of this stuff because who knows? It's like it's a whole article on the entire thing about the boat one, especially the one that looks.
Oh,
like
so this
Lugia
is all about
more.
the boat Pokemon, the boat.
More
beta?
so, yeah, more so.
Okay,
But anyway, I just think
want to
that
understand
that guy-
context.
Yeah, it just was part of the leak sprites. I just think that it could make a cool fossil Pokemon because it is like a dinosaur essentially that is aquatic as well. But yeah, I think fossils, it's pretty up there. I don't know. Maybe we get none. Maybe we get none.
I hope we get some, and I hope we get some that are like, because other than the Gen 8 fossils, I feel like they've for the most part been pretty samey. Because you get like a lot of water types. You get like, I feel like you get like a lot of the same. Like there's like a pool of like 4 or 5 types that they all are. So I want to see, and there's a lot of types that we have not got a fossil type or a fossil Pokemon of. We've never gotten a fire type. We've never gotten a psychic type. We've never gotten a lot of types. So I would like to see those types that haven't been touched before.
It was really nice that they broke the mold with the Gen 8 ones though. Because
yeah. I mean,
having to have the rock type is like, ugh.
Yes, I feel that for sure. And like, I can appreciate them to an extent because like, it does kind of draw on that history of like fossil excavation, which is really fun, but they're just so like wacky looking that it makes me just like yearn for just a regular old classic fossil Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's, since we didn't get any in Gen 9 either, it's like, I'm just like starving for some.
Totally.
Yeah.
Guys, there's a lot more stuff on my list. I think we got to make part 2 of this video, which I think honestly, there's enough stuff going on there. But we still got to talk about evolutions, pseudo legendary. I got ideas here for trade evolutions, item evolutions, stone evolutions, friendship evolutions.
That's amazing because those are all the ones I didn't have on my list.
Yeah, we talked about
more time to prepare. Because...
We did talk about regional forms, but I know there's more ideas that for regional forms that would make sense for this region. Baby Pokemon I was going to bring up.
Ooh.
Generation 8, we did get a new baby Pokemon in Toxel. So it's like, again, not impossible that we could see. I'm just, again, thinking about Generation 10 as like not really a soft reboot, but like if this is the grand entrance of a new game to like reset the precedence of what a new generation game what a Pokemon game looks like, I think there is opportunity for like a lot of the little things that maybe haven't been shown appreciation in a decade to kind of come back, right? But yeah, convergent species. We didn't talk about the Pokemon gimmick at all. Hoops wanted to talk about mega evolutions before we started recording. We could talk about all of the legendary Pokemon. We're gonna get like a trio probably separate from the box arts. Mythical Pokemon.
I'm surprised you wanted to do all this in this one episode.
Well, we just ended up taking way too much time. So
it's great,
guys. If you want to see that episode, subscribe and subscribe and let us know in the comments, like what and tell us your ideas, because if you guys leave ideas, we could actually read those on the show. I think that'd be kind of fun. And then
for all the things that you just mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Were you gonna say something, Hoops?
I was just gonna say that we talked about a lot of good stuff, but to your point, there's a lot of great stuff still to talk about. So I think this one, it definitely would be good to revisit again to kind of like wrap up. And I love the idea of getting the listeners' input and sort of addressing some of those. That would be pretty cool, because the listeners are smart and they have a lot of good ideas.
They are. No, they absolutely are. They absolutely are. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you want to support the show, if you want to support Hidden Power, down in the description, $5 on Patreon or on YouTube. You can become a member and support this show. Maybe you're bummed out that the show's about to end and you're still at work and haven't had time to actually reach up to your AirPod to pause the episode and find something else on YouTube to listen to during your shift. If you wanted to, you could become a member and unlock over 100 different podcasts, live streams. There is hours and hours and hours of content that you could be listening to. It's all for you. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you for everyone who supports. And let us know what Pokemon ideas you want to see in Generation 10. Thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.